Hello, fourth grade. For this week, we're going to be working on homes from around the world. So you're going to be working on everything from pages 59 up until page 65. So this is going to be kind of like a book. So I want you to go through, you can color this section, make sure you put your full name and date on the cover page. And as we're going through the pages, make sure you're adding your name and date for each day that a particular set of pages is due, so that when you turn it in at the very end, it should have multiple dates on it to show that you've been working on it all week. Now, one of the kinds of houses that we're going to learn about, the very first kind of house that we find around the world, is called a stilt house. Some houses are built on stilts. These stilt houses are found near water or in an area with heavy rain. These houses are raised up over the water so they stay dry. The houses are also safe from animals like mice. Stilt houses are often built using mangrove trees. This type of wood can stand up to water. Stilt homes are found in Asia. You can also find stilt homes on beaches in the United States. So the only real times that they put houses up on stilts, these are like these tall posts, is to keep houses away from water. So this is an area, if it's near a beach where the tide comes in, you want to make sure that the water isn't rushing into the home, or in places that get really heavy rainfall and flooding. So you're going to go through this section at the bottom for each one of these pages. You're going to use yellow to highlight the climate where these houses are built. So go back into this passage where we were talking about the different climates. So houses that have heavy rainfall, use green to highlight why these houses are built. So they're built to stay dry and to stay safe from animals, right? They're raised up above the water level. And then use blue to highlight the materials used to build these houses. So in the second paragraph, it tells us about what kind of wood is used to build these houses. A person who lives in this house probably what? So go ahead and complete this sentence. Probably lives in an area that gets a lot of flooding, probably lives near a beach, or you can put both of those down. Make sure you're completing the sentence so the sentence makes sense. So remember, highlight with yellow, green, and blue for this section. As you go through, you're going to be doing the same thing for each one of these different types of houses from around the world. You're going to be using the same highlighting colors to highlight the same kind of information, so that when you get to the very end and you compile this information, it's easy to find everything that you're looking for. So the next type of home that we're going to read about is an igloo. A long time ago, the Inuit hunters of northern Canada built igloos for shelter. An igloo is a shelter built from ice and snow. There is a lot of snow in this part of the world. Igloos would keep a family warm for the winter. Ice is good for blocking out wind and keeping in heat. Body heat or a small fire would keep them warm inside. The inside of an igloo would melt a little, causing the snow to turn into ice. Now over here again, you're going to use yellow to highlight the climate. You're going to use green to highlight why these houses were built, and blue to highlight the materials that were used. And again, you'll complete the same sentence. A person who lives in this house probably what? And complete the sentence all the way through. Now, one of the things that they didn't mention in here, they said the house, it would melt a little bit, causing the snow to turn to ice. But what that did was when it would refreeze, it would seal all of the cracks between those blocks of ice so that wind is not blowing into the igloo. So that way it becomes more insulated, or it holds the heat inside even better. The next home we're going to learn about is called a floating house. Floating houses also allow people to live on the water instead of on land. Floating houses are homes built onto boats. They are often made of foam, rubber, steel, and wood. These homes are built in places where there is more water than land. In the Netherlands, the water rises and floods the land. They help more people live in crowded cities. Building a home near the beach costs a lot of money. Floating homes are a cheaper way to live in the water. So again, we're going to highlight in yellow the climate, with green why these houses were built, and blue, what materials they use. So the materials, again, is up here in the first section. Why these houses were built is in the first and second section. We talk about it, first and second paragraph. And the climate, again, is up here in the very beginning of the second paragraph. We're going to, again, complete the sentence and then move on. So as you're going through the week, make sure you're completing your pages on time. If you want to skip ahead and complete them early, that's absolutely fine. Just make sure that your work is neat and organized, that your name, your full name, first and last name, and your date is on each one of the pages at the top. You can put it in anywhere on top or in the spaces next to the pictures of the houses, but just make sure it's written neatly so I can see it. All right, the next type of home that we're going to learn about quickly. Yurts were built by people who needed to move a lot. Yurts have a dome top. There is a chimney in the middle that allows the smoke to go out of the roof. The fire along with the cloth on the outside keep the inside warm. They are found in Asia and in the steppe climate. A steppe is a dry grassland. There are heavy winds there. The shape of the yurt helps it to stand up to the winds. So this, because it's something that can be built quickly and it can be set up, it's also very similar to what we learned about, or what you've learned about in previous years about Native American tribes who lived in teepees that were, again, that were more cone-shaped with an opening up at the top with the sticks to hold the fabric that's on the outside that, again, keeps the heat inside to keep them warm. So for the yurt, you're going to highlight the climate with yellow. You're going to highlight why they were built with green. And again, with blue, we're going to highlight the materials. You'll complete the sentence at the bottom. A chalet is the next kind of house that we're going to learn about. A chalet is a house built in the mountains of Europe. A lot of snow falls in this area, so they were built to keep people warm and dry. Chalets are made of strong wood, and they have a balcony. This gives you a chance to look out at the mountains from upstairs. The roof of a chalet is thick so that it can hold heavy snow. The roof is sloped so that most of the heavy snow falls off. So you see how it's kind of triangular on top? That's so when the snow falls, it can roll off the edge of the roof so it doesn't pile up and put a lot of extra weight on the top of the house. The roof hangs over the house a bit in the front. This protects you if you go outside. It also gives a place to keep wood dry for the fireplace. So over here, this part extends out in front of the house a little bit. It doesn't level with the edge of the house so that it gives some extra kind of shaded or covered area to protect firewood from getting wet or to protect you if you were to go outside on the balcony. So we're going to highlight yellow, the climate where these houses were built, green for why these houses were built, and blue, the materials that were used. And the last house that we're going to talk about in this section is our stone houses. So houses made of stone, such as stucco or adobe, are common in Mexico. The temperatures in these areas get very hot. Stucco and adobe absorb heat during the day. This keeps the inside of the house cool. At night, the heat slowly releases into the home as the temperature cools. The small windows in these homes keep sunlight out. Roofs can be flat because there is no snow there. Concrete is used in these homes to protect them from, not protect them from concrete, but to protect them from the elements and rain. So we're going to use yellow to highlight the climate, green to highlight where they were built or why they were built, and blue to highlight the materials used. So houses that were made of adobe and stucco. Adobe is a block or bricks that are made of clay and straw, and these were also used to build pueblos by a lot of the Native American tribes. So these kinds of houses were around for a very long time. Make sure you complete the sentence at the bottom, that your name and date is on everything, and please make sure your work is neat and organized. If you want to color the pictures of the houses, that would be really great. It would definitely make this booklet much prettier to look at. You can decorate the cover and add colors. Make sure your name and date is everywhere it needs to be. If you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, fourth grade. Take care. Bye-bye.